Hey guys, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good evening, I should say. Y'all come on in. I'm gonna get things started here. We are going to be doing an update here today on Haiti's First Lady, Martine Moise, who lost her husband, President Jovenel Moise, when he was assassinated in Haiti. It appears that Miss Martine Moise is recovering from her injuries, and she is up. She is speaking to people about what happened the night that gunman assassinated her husband right in front of her. All right, let me get some of these windows. I mean, I've been like monitoring things going on in Belarus. There's a whole situation going on with Belarus and political asylum. And there's people that are trying to get political asylum. Some athletes are trying to get political asylum. They are in the Olympics, and some of the athletes have been turning themselves over to Tokyo authorities asking for political asylum because they are afraid they're going to be persecuted in their home country of Belarus. And there tends to be this really weird persecution of people that are from Belarus. And if they dare speak bad about their nation or try to leave their country, whatever the case may be, it's just a really, really big deal. So Belarus has had a lot of political and social turmoil. They've had disputed elections. There's been violent crackdowns. The president of Belarus, Lukashenko, he's been condemned by the international community. He's really sparked an entire exodus of people that are just leaving Belarus in droves. So that's something else you guys want to definitely put on your list of things that you want to watch and monitor. Because my understanding too is today, Vitaly Shishov, he was actually a head of a Belarusian exile group. He was found dead in the Ukraine capital of Kiev today. So it's awful. Now let's get to this particular topic with Jovenel Moise and his widow, Martine Moise, who has now spoken out in an interview. And she did an interview with CNN, and yes, she spoke what many of us have been saying, right? Where were the guards? Where were the guards? Why were the guards not there? Where were the presidential guards? So many of us want to know the answer to that question. She recalled how her bedroom was ransacked and attackers said, quote, "That's not it." So they were looking for something. Mrs. Moise was asked why not a single security guard protecting her home was even injured that night, which makes sense. I mean, we're talking about an acting president who was in his private residence. And somehow multiple gunmen managed to not only get into this man's private residence where his family, his children, and his wife were, multiple men got into this residence somehow through what's supposed to be the ultimate of ultimate security, for a presidential an asset like that. And they assassinated him. They shot him. My understanding, there was 3 or 4 of the shots that could have been fatal. Some have called it overkill. July 7th, by the way. It's not even been a month yet since this happened. Now, Mrs. Moise's elbow was shattered. Her husband told her to lay on the floor, and the last words to her were, "That's where I think you will be safe." The gunmen were looking for something in their bedroom before they shot her husband. In her first TV interview since the attack, she asked why not a single security guard who was protecting the home was injured. After the attack, when she was finally let out of the house by police, Mrs. Moise noticed that there were no security guards outside and came to the conclusion they had either let the attackers in or they had abandoned their posts. And that has been a primary question. How could this have possibly happened? The president of Haiti, Jovenel Moise, was assassinated by gunmen in a nighttime raid that also left Mrs. Moise seriously injured. At one point, it was reported that she had been killed along with her husband. This was actually being reported in official press. Now, Mr. and Mrs. Moise were asleep in their bed in their home on the hills of Port-au-Prince on July 7th when deafening gunshots rang out and woke them up in a state of panic. Mrs. Moise and her husband hid in the bedroom when the door burst open and the attackers ransacked the room after Mrs. Moise was hit with a bullet. Let y'all look at these photos. On CNN, this is where she did the interview, and we're going to take a look at it. They came to find something because I heard them saying, "That's not it. That's not it. There it is," which means they found what they were looking for. She added that she does not know what they found, but after finding the item, the attacker approached her husband and called someone. The attackers described President Jovenel, who at this time was unhurt and alive, and said that he was tall, skinny, and black. First Lady Mrs. Moise said maybe the person on the phone confirmed to the shooter that was him, and they shot him on the floor. Mrs. Moise has said that the attackers came to find something because she heard them saying, quote, "That's not it. That's not it. There it is," which means they found what they were looking for. Mrs. Moise was laying on the floor of her bedroom when her husband, Haitian President Jovenel Moise, age 47, was shot dead next to her. Her daughter, Martine Moise, was also home at the time of the attack, and her son was also, from my understanding. She believes the attackers thought she was dead when they left. Usually there are dozens of security guards on hand to protect the president, but the First Lady said they were nowhere to be found. After the incident, coming to the conclusion that one of two things happened. Either one, they let the attackers in, or two, they abandoned their post. She said there is no other explanation. You're there to protect the president, and the president is dead, and you're nowhere to be found. I don't think they expected Mrs. Moise to survive. She is still in South Florida at this time. Mrs. Moise was amazed that no security guards were injured after the attack and thinks that it's part of a much larger conspiracy. And I agree with her. This is the main thing that we have all been saying since this happened, since the day this happened. Where was the security? There's no way that these rogue, whatever you want to call them, rogue assassins or mercenaries or whatever the case, should not have been able to walk up in a president's private residence and just shoot him down like that. So yes, I agree. I think there is something to the security guards Why were they not there? There was none injured. I would have expected that some of those security guards would have been shot as well. They should have at least been able to return some fire. Now, in the attack, Mrs. Moise ran to wake up her 2 adult children and instructed them to hide in the bathroom. It was the only room with no windows. With the family dog, President Moise called his head of security and told his wife to lie down on the floor. Quote, "That's where I think you will be safe," she remembers him saying. It turned out to be the last thing he would say to his wife of 25 years. Moments later, the group of assassins broke into the presidential bedroom and opened fire. Gunshots hit Martine first in the hand and elbow as she lay on the floor as instructed. Her elbow was shattered by a gunshot and her mouth filled with blood as she lay on the floor as the group of assassins charged into her bedroom. Here's a photo of some of these assassins or alleged assassins or assassins that they're being accused of being mercenaries. Remember, they were speaking both English and Spanish, and the country of Colombia has confirmed that multiple men involved in this operation were former Colombian military members. Here's another picture of suspects that are accused of playing a role in the assassination of President Jovenel Moise. They came in multiple cars, y'all. They were flying drones over President Moise's home. Yeah. And some of these suspects were found in a house not too far away from the president's private residence in a home that's owned by a friend of the president. Last week, federal agents raided 5 South Florida locations while serving warrants in an investigation into the assassination. So this investigation is now bleeding into America. The search warrant included the homes and offices of, Antonio Entrago and Walter Ventimilla, 2 businessmen whom officials in Haiti suspect funded and trained those who have been implicated in the assassination. Helicopter footage shows FBI agents and investigators from Homeland Security searching for financial records and other documents at the home of these men. By the way, happens to be the president of Worldwide Capital Lending Group. Again, Jovenel Moise was assassinated on July 7th by a hit squad made up of mostly Colombian mercenaries, but many details surrounding the brazen attack have remained a mystery. Again, Haiti has been in political turmoil for a long time. Investigators want to determine if these men in South Florida played any role. Again, they are being accused of funding and training those that took place in this raid, this nighttime raid. Since President Jovenel Moise's assassination, 44 suspects have been detained. Investigators are seeking several more. Those in custody include 18 former Colombian commandos and numerous members of Moise's security team. However, none of those detained have been charged or appeared in court, despite Haitian law requiring suspects to be charged within 48 hours or be released. Interesting. And I think that this case is going to get even more interesting as time goes on, y'all. Hey, Robert, I remember you. I remember you. How are you, Robert? I remember you. So yeah, I just wanted to like do this really quick update for those of you on the Crimes and Investigations channel. We'll be back under the main channel. I think I got 3 or 4 more days or something like that. I'm not even really following it too close, but as you all know, I caught a strike of medical misinformation, is what they say anyway, uh, because I spoke on what was it, Truth Seeker? Jabber? The jabber? I guess that's the code word. It's jabber. Whatever. I'll be back on the main channel pretty soon, y'all. So, um, but in the interim, let me be completely thorough and let me find this clip here that I want to show you guys. I want to see it too, and I haven't actually seen it yet. So give me just 1 second. So I want to see this clip of what she said in this interview with CNN. I'll I'll play it here, and then we're probably going to head on up out of here. I am going to be discussing in my next video, or definitely in a future video for sure, subscribers. How some people are buying subscribers out here for their YouTube channels, and how you can actually know that they're doing it. Hold on, Martine Moise. Here we go. All right, I found it. So, how many minutes is that? It's 5 minutes and 20 seconds. Yeah. Let me share out another tab here, you guys. 1 second. Let's share out this other tab. Hey, Denise. And what's crazy is that, as you guys know, I have been on my Crimes and Investigations only channel for the last couple of days, actually. And it's kind of funny how some people act like, they're not pressed. They're never pressed. They're never pressed. But yet, in order to know what I'm even saying, you have to be over here on my Crimes and Investigations channel, which means you're really putting in an active effort, Raw, to run behind me, you fucking weird bitch. Hey, guys. Hey, who, me?
So it has been nearly a month since Haitian President Jovenel Moise was assassinated in his home. Now we're hearing from the only other person who was hurt in the attack and the only witness, his widow, First Lady Martine Moise. In her first on-camera interview since the attack, she spoke exclusively with CNN's Matt Rivers about what happened that night and the questions that are still unanswered.
When gunmen stormed Haiti's presidential residence and assassinated President Jovenel Moise, just one witness was there when he died.
Madame First Lady, how are you? Thank you so much.
His wife, Haiti's First Lady, Martine Moise. Flanked by private security, she agreed to go on camera for the first time with her side of a story that's left her shaken.
You have armed security here at this interview. We've been asked and agreed not to disclose the location of where we're talking right now. You're obviously at least thinking about threats to your life. Do you feel like your life right now is at risk?
Yeah, it is. Because I wasn't supposed to be alive.
In a long conversation that switched between Haitian Creole and English, Moise described in vivid detail what happened the night her husband was killed. It was around 1 a.m., she says, when the shooting started. It wasn't something small. It was the sounds of automatic weapons. Bullet holes still pockmarked the compound. At the time, she and her husband hid in their bedroom, but just minutes later, she says the door burst open. Gunfire ripped through the air, and at first, only she was hit. Face down and bleeding, she thinks about a dozen men ransacked the room looking for something specific.
Eu teve na.
They came to find something because I heard them saying, that's not it, there it is, which means they found what they were looking for. She doesn't know what they found, but after they did, an attacker approached her husband, at this point still alive and unhurt, and got on the phone.
Leo teve em Joanie.
She says that person called someone and described what my husband looked like, saying he was tall, skinny, and black. Maybe the person on the phone confirmed to the shooter that was him, and they shot him on the floor. The president was dead, and the attackers left soon after. Moise believes they thought she was dead too. Critically wounded, she lifted herself up.
When you stood up and you saw that he was dead, did you say anything to him?
Na cama.
In my heart, I said something I used to tell him when he was alive. We are married for better or worse, and even beyond the grave. Her left side bleeding and her right arm shredded by gunfire, she's eventually led out of the house by police and comes to a quick conclusion. The dozens of security guards normally on hand to protect the president either let the attackers in or they abandoned their posts.
Não.
There's no other explanation, she says. You're there to protect a president, and the president is dead, and you're nowhere to be found. Adding that she was amazed. Apparently, not a single guard was injured. Moise believes it's part of a much larger conspiracy.
At your husband's funeral, you said, quote, "The Raptors are still out there watching and laughing at us."
Yes,
What
they
did you
are.
mean by that?
Yes, they are. Because no one is being arrested yet. The people that they arrest is the people that pull the trigger. They won't pull the trigger with no orders. So the main character that we need is the people that paid for that and the people that gave the order.
And you think that that person or persons has not yet been arrested?
Oh, no.
The official investigation has led to the arrest of more than 40 suspects, but has still not provided a motive for the president's killing or identified a mastermind behind it all. That has left a vacuum. Haiti flooded with theories about who killed a president who, at the time of his death, was an embattled, largely unpopular leader. Even still, for his widow, this was an unimaginable ending.
I never thought that the level of hate ever existed in the country.
You never thought this could happen?
No.
Because your husband did have a lot of enemies.
Yes, he did. But I didn't know that they hated that much to kill him.
And we asked Martine Moise, are you confident in the investigation that is ongoing on the island right now? And she basically said no. And she specifically said that she wants U.S. investigators already involved in this investigation to continue, even ramp up their participation. And she also is specifically calling for the UN to create a special investigative tribunal to investigate the assassination of her husband, much like they did back in the mid-2000s after the assassination of Lebanon's prime minister. Basically, what she is saying there is that she does not trust this investigation unless foreign investigators are involved, because if they're not, she doesn't feel the truth will ever truly be found out. Matt Rivers, CNN, Miami.
Wow. Matt Rivers did a fantastic job. Shout out to Matt. Hey, Spivey. Yeah. It just overwhelming. I just feel overwhelming sadness when just watching that clip. It's so overwhelmingly sad. And the fact of the matter is today is August the 3rd. And this happened on July the 7th. And they're Matt Rivers and the president's widow just said, there's been no official arrests yet. It seems like to me that authorities are actually breaking their own laws as they continue to hold people and break their own law. In Haiti, it's by law. You have to either be charged or released 48 hours. And I agree with the president's widow, and to the respect of she does not trust the investigation that's going on. I don't blame her. It's been crazy just kind of watching it from our perspective. It's been like, wow, just all over the place. So I really, really am glad that she is recovering from her injuries. I'm glad that she survived. And, you know, I pray for her and her family. It's horrible what happened. It's horrible. But yeah, I just want to give an update on that particular case. I'm pretty sure more additional information is going to come out, you know, over the next couple of weeks, couple of months, I hope. And I'll do an update on LeakU soon enough, whenever I can get back on the page after this little strike expires or whatever. Be very mindful about speaking about the C-19 thing, because that's what they got me. They tried to say I gave out misinformation or medical misinformation. Man, I am not a doctor, okay? You do not want to be taking my advice when it comes to stuff like that. But yeah, outside of that, I don't have really any other updates on this particular issue or this particular case. So we'll follow back up on it. But yeah, Denise, you know what? The girl is just a weird weirdo. She's weird. She's a strange one. She's a Grinch. Very hateful and vindictive. Yeah. And like I said before, the only way that she would possibly know about anything I'm even saying is that she's literally over here following me around YouTube, literally all up my ass. You know, she can literally smell my colon right now. She's all up in my ass on some fuck shit, y'all. So go pop that. Go pop that, bitch. Go pop that. By the way, we all know you don't own the trademark to that name anyway. Nice try with the whole TM thing, but yeah, you don't own that. It's not trademarked. Anybody could say that. But yeah, I'm going to do a video on people buying YouTube subscribers, people buying views on YouTube, people buying likes, people buying dislikes. When you're a technical person, you can look at something and get a really, really, really good feeling about what, you know, if an account is like legit or not legit type of thing. And the beautiful thing about tools like Knox and Social Blade and all those things is there is a historical record of your subscriber count, especially when you have it public, right? And what you have to really, really pay attention to is if somebody has like 5,000 subscribers, but they can't even get 100 views on a single video, you really, really need to question that amount of subscribers. By the time I get off of live on my main LeakU channel, I'm already over 100, 150 views by the time I hit the end button on the live. So if we are to use or model somebody who's around 5,000 subscribers, I would probably have to lean on a couple of others because I'm over 5,000 subscribers. But I've even noticed in the last 3 or 4 days, you somehow gained 100 subscribers over there, but you're not doing anything. There's nothing, you know what I'm saying? Like that scandal involving you is like over with. So no one's really talking about you. And your video views have went right back to where they were before, you know, maybe 20 views, 30, 40, 50, whatever. But the views don't match up with the subscriber count. And there has been, you know, some people dropping receipts on some people out here on YouTube and pretty much showed them buying subscribers for these people. And it's never a good idea to do that. And we will talk about that whenever I do this video. It's never a good idea to buy subscribers because, for one, there becomes this differentiating thing that you see between the views of the actual videos and the actual subscribers. The fake accounts, some of them sell these packages like, oh yeah, we're gonna have some real accounts follow you, or we're gonna do a follow for a follow. Even YouTube even discourages a follow for a follow type of actually, it's not allowed. You are not allowed to promote follow for a follow. And that's something that people used to do a long time ago to try to lift their numbers up. But now people, they're just buying subscribers to try to get around thing, trying to go the easy way out. But is that really the easy way out? It really isn't. You can tell when someone has bought subscribers. If you have 5,000 subscribers on your main channel and you don't even pull 5 people in a live stream, there's an issue there. If you don't even pull 100 views on a video, there's an issue there. Not to mention the views, the fact that on every single day, like, I can tell what they're doing. They're buying like a set number of these subscribers, but they're only, and I bet you one of the people in here listening in the bushes is you right now, Mrs. Dishonesty. So take it for what it's worth. And how about you kiss the crack of my ass, bitch, you weird ass fucking eagle-nosed bitch. Again, the only way you know I'm saying this is if you're over here listening, right? You're way over here. You're past leaky.com. You're past leaky.com's backup channel. You're over here on Crimes and Investigations at this point, right? But I'll never say your whole name. So enjoy. Enjoy. Even with a little burst of engagement, even with a little burst or a little scandal, that throws a little burst in traffic where your name is being brought up, it still would not equate to what the numbers are showing for you. It's obvious you have bought subscribers. I'm just saying. And hold on a second. And I'm speaking to this person. They know who they are. I don't need to say any names, but they know who they are. And we are going to go into some detail about this. I think I scheduled the video for tomorrow, I believe. But it's not a great thing to buy the subscribers and to buy the views and stuff like that. It's like, I don't know if any of you all have ever watched or ever looked on Social Blade or Knox, or there's a couple of different providers that do this. But every once in a while, you'll see YouTube do like a cleanup. They actually will go back and remove views and remove subscriber counts from people. And I've noticed, like, even if you just look at the table for your particular account to the person I'm talking to, I know what you're doing. You're buying these subscribers in a set amount, but the way that they do the subscriptions is they're not all subscribing in one day. So I noticed that they're doing like 20, 10, 30, 40, 10. They're adding so many per day. Nobody gains that many subs every single day. Like, there's even me, even people bigger than me. I can go pull up Lovely T's freaking numbers, and even she is not going to manage to pull that off. So what I did is I looked at Brianna Pettyville. I looked at her numbers. She's right around where you are, right? And interestingly enough, when you look at somebody who's right at about the same sub count as this other person who's at this sub count, you can see where the subscribers are being purchased. You can tell like an account where they're buying likes and subscribers, and then you can see an account that's doing organic. They're just being completely organic about what their activities. I don't think Brianna Simone Pettyville buys any subscribers. I don't think she's ever did that. And you can actually tell just by the activity of her account when you look at it, it looks like a natural progression. And even she is not picking up 400 and 500 subscribers in a few days. somehow you've managed to pick up what, 1,000 subs? What? Wait. 4.6. So you've managed to pull what, over 4,000 subs in a year, but yet not one single video of yours will even hit 100 views, even after 72 hours on your channel. Yeah. Yeah, like I'm not going. And the thing about it is people will come out here and they will be fake. And they really get so caught up in numbers, in subscriber counts. And obviously if the dislikes aren't bothering you, why are you talking about them? That's what I don't get. We know it's bothering you because you're talking about it. The hell? I heard. Did you? Did you hear? Had you heard? Girl, sit your ass down. What are you talking about? I heard. How about you? I heard. Why don't you talk about those buying subscriber allegations that people have said about you? And there are receipts. People have purchased subscribers. And I'm just curious, how you feel about that. Did you really think that cheating was the way to go? Even every single fucking subscriber I got is organic. Everyone, every platform. Instagram, all of my followers are organic. Yeah, it might have took a little while to gain the amount of subscribers or followers or whatever you want to call it. But it damn sure feels really good that I can sit here and say that everything about my platforms is unique and organic, and I have never faked the funk. You could put my numbers up to the test of time and they're going to stand, But yet when I go look at some other folks' numbers, man, you see like a big dip, a big drop in the trend. If you look like back about a year or so. Yeah, YouTube does come back and clean shit up after the fact. Believe that. And again, it is obvious. It is becoming even more and more obvious that you've been doing it the last month. I pulled a report, and I kid you not, when you look at this report, you could see it. You could see it. Like they're literally tagging them on each day. She's buying them in bulk, and they're trying to do it to be safe, because people don't just mass subscribe to shit. And Pettyville's over there way more popular than you. So, yeah, if you just look at the basic shit, y'all, just look at the basics. That rumor was true. And I've literally sat back just like in the last 2 or 3 weeks. And the only reason why is because, we've had a little banter back and forth or whatever. But I've sat here and watched you flip from like 4.7 to you're 5.3. You even went up overnight. But yet your views are the same, if not less. How does somebody with 5,000 subscribers, they don't even pull 100 views on a video? That doesn't make sense to me. Now, my LeakQ backup account, how many do I got? I think it's like 414 subscribers or some shit like that. And I just know that because I literally just was looking at it. And even with 400 subscribers, I'm getting about the same amount of views on my videos that you're getting with your so-called 5,000 subscribers. And that's why it doesn't make sense either. Yeah. Just being like a technical person and just watching trends over a period of time, and being the fact that we've all been sort of aware of this person and them buying subscribers and shit like that, means that there's a lot more historical data. Two, also, there is platforms that you can use that has historical data as well. You may need to pay for like a silver package or gold or whatever the case to like obtain that information, but it is there. And it's really obvious that subscribers are being purchased. It's really actually kind of sad because it's just so fake. But we're going to talk about that on my next video. I just wanted to kind of fill in a little bit because I think I was scheduled to go live today. I was going to do a video about it, but then this came up. And of course, some other things came up. Other cases came up that I've been covering today. So didn't have a chance, but I will get to it. And I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. I've got all the screen caps and stuff. It's very interesting. Just like if you have more dislikes than likes on a video, is that engagement? Yeah, sure, it's engagement. I had heard that YouTube didn't care. No, that's you must have heard wrong. You must have missed the part where if you have, inherent dislikes, you're going to be less likely to recommend your video. So, yeah, like, I don't know about that one. No about that. And obviously, too, people getting like a massive amount of dislikes, it hurts their self-esteem. It can hurt a person's, shatter their self-esteem. It can shatter their whole world, And if people really didn't care, then they wouldn't even talk about it, right? They wouldn't make an entire video about dislikes, especially being the fact that you have mentioned it several times. So, yeah, it's just kind of funny to me when you see people that always like, they want to be smart. Nobody's saying that people ain't smart out here or whatever, but they always want to be the smartest one in the room. Think they're the smartest one in the room. And then when, somebody or they run across somebody that they can't fool, like some of these other people that they be fooling out here, then, well, what did you say? Nut up, boss up. Is that what you said? Nut up. Yeah. Okay, bitch. I got your nuts, bro. So here's something I'm going to say this too, because we know that you're only going to know this if you are over here listening all the way on the Crimes and Investigations channel. Before I click off and end this, what was that? The last thing I was going to mention. Let's see. Well, hey, Centelpo. I know, right? I'm being so subliminal, but I got to keep it 100 on this channel. So I don't get into like the crazy stuff on this channel. But man, I sure love my freedom of speech. And freedom of speech is freedom of speech. And it's kind of sad when you hear somebody say freedom of speech ain't so free now, is it? Oh, yes, it is. Oh, but it is. And let me tell you something, you weird bitch, you don't have the capability to take somebody's freedom of speech away. What are you talking about? What you mean freedom of speech ain't so free? I'm still talking over here. I'm still talking. Seems like all that bullshit you on ain't stopping nothing, is it? I'm still here. Ain't going nowhere. So popation that. Y'all watch. Somebody's going to fuck around and steal that shit from her. And actually, she's not the one who even said the word popation first. There's a few people out here I've seen title videos or say that term. So again, a whole thief. Just a whole fucking thief out here would be out here like, oh no, you stole my butterfly. Hey, TRT, you stole my butterfly. I just knew she was going to go bad on the bashful guy. And when she, that dead butterfly on the ground, grr, 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 grr. Butterfly's dead. Take hint, bitch. Take a hint. But I'm just talking shit, you guys. I'm chopping it up. I'm going to get my ass up out of here. I'll catch y'all on the next live, and we'll go into more details about people buying subscribers and likes and dislikes. Yeah. People are out here on some fuck shit. And if you see somebody with 5,000 subscribers who can't even pull 100 views on a video, you know them numbers ain't right. And yeah, so I'll leave it at that. We'll cover it. When I think it's scheduled for tomorrow, I believe. Oh, this is what I was going to say. You know, some people are just dumb. I don't know why a bitch would ever think, right? Or anybody would ever think that somebody who made a video, if they made a video, they made a video. It doesn't matter whether it was unlisted, public, private. You're making just like this huge deal about a video being unlisted. You know, the only reason why that video was unlisted is because I did the live from my phone. And by default, or I think in my previous video or in some previous video that I've uploaded from my phone, I had did it unlisted. So it saved that setting. You stupid bitch. You dummy. Hey, Queen. Hey, Natalie. Oh yeah, I know, right? But yeah, like there's really not a lot of thought to it. I mean, that's just the truth of the matter. With the YouTube app will save your settings. So if you uploaded a video previously as unlisted, make sure you check that. Make sure you check that whenever you go, live again on that same device, because that's exactly what happened to me. I had did a video previously and unlisted. And so the next video I did from that device automatically came out as unlisted. And when I synced it, I fixed it and made it public. I mean, I could see you saying something if I had made the video private, but I ain't no scary pussy bitch. So I'm trying to understand what you're trying to say there with that. Like, what exactly are you trying to say? Oh, you nutting up. You trying to boss up. Bitch, I am a boss. I am a boss. And I am not a bully. I don't bully people, but I've always been a boss bitch now. I've always been a boss bitch. I don't know who the fuck you talking to. The only thing banging in Little Rock is fucking Crips and Bloods, bitch. Okay? That's the only thing banging out that bitch. I ain't gonna go into any more further discussion about what they say about people that live in Arkansas. TRG, I really don't know. I just think that it's just kind of crazy over there. Like, it's kind of weird to be sitting here a week later, and I'm just kind of looking back at the fact that even just a week ago, wasn't the two of them over there like saying that I had sent something to Rita that I didn't even send? But of course, they don't come back and clean those lies up, right? They just leave them out there. I don't know what the deal is with her. I think that she's the one that has been popped. She should be embarrassed. She's been exposed, doxing people. Doesn't matter, honestly, what you say in any, of your videos or whatever. Like, did y'all heard her, right? I mean, for those who listen to her, a lot of people don't listen or watch her, but the fact that she spent, and honestly, I did get to check this one out, but I only got to listen for a few minutes because the last couple of days I've been kind of busy and I haven't had an opportunity to really, really like be all involved in YouTube and shit like that. But you might want to be really careful speaking on what you think you may know about me and my husband, or what you think you may know, or is that, if that was audio of me, don't you think I would have had it taken down, maybe with a copyright strike or something? I mean, I've been accused of being all kinds of people on this platform. So, yeah, you might want to be really weary of that. I don't like bullies like you. Very bullyish, always trying to threaten somebody. Your threats don't move nothing over here. It ain't moving shit. So just know that. And just know too, also, like, you're so concerned about me and my marriage and my husband and all this. Kind of weird, don't you think? It's kind of strange. It's kind of weird. being the fact that we're not sitting over here worrying, thinking about you, bitch. We've been on to other things. Like, I'm so over these crackhead ass bitches out here. I really am. Period, queen. Period. These hoes want to come out here and try to speak on what they think they know. And that bitch don't know shit. I think she needs to really, really just like worry about her own personal life, you know? I'm not the one sitting here trying to involuntarily commit my husband to a psychiatric facility, you know? I'm not trying to file court documents to try to take his rights away, you know, and put him up in some psych ward somewhere involuntarily at that. Try to take the man's, you know, everything, his whole oomph. The fuck kind of shit is that? What the hell kind of shit is that? And if anybody, I mean, and it does, it starts like this weird precedence. It's really, really weird. It takes a lot to involuntarily commit somebody. And that right there, anybody should be like, And, you know, I think that, well, maybe my thinking is a little bit too dangerous. They say it's too dangerous to think these days. Anyway, I wanted to get this update out about Miss Martine Moise. You know, what else is there for me to say? It's raw meat. You know, it's raw meat. It's bloody. It's disgusting. You know, it's rotten. And I'm just not on that wave right now. I'm really not. Like, I'm past it, and you're just trash. I shit on you, bitch. Don't worry about you and your husband. Don't worry about me and mine, okay? Or my kids at that. It's kind of weird. It's just sort of weird. And if you really look at it, if you really, really look at it, did Lee Q do or say anything to this lady? No. No. This all started because this lady started talking about me over there on that Loop Loop ladies page. Oh, Leaky did this, Leaky did that, Leaky did that. No, Leaky ain't did a motherfucking thing. I'm just sitting here watching like the rest of y'all. Just, I mean, y'all, it's been a year since I kicked that lady off as a moderator. And look at this. It's a year. Here we are, August 3rd of 2021. And that bitch is still over there pressed. Get an iron, bitch. Do you want a shirt? Will you press a shirt for me, bitch? Can you put some creases in the arms for me? My husband, you know, he likes the creases in the arms on the long. No, I haven't. I sure haven't. Not once. Not once. But I mean, like, it's kind of crazy. Like, the girl's literally sitting over there acting like people are jumping her. People are attacking her. And she's really the one that attacked. I don't know. It's kind of weird. But whatever. Much love, y'all. I'm out of here. Queen, much love to you as well. When y'all get a chance, definitely subscribe to Queen's Throne. She's got several channels, and she's got them all linked up on her channels pages on. So check that out. And it's called the Popation, right? Yeah. So yeah, I'll leave it at that. But popation is a word I've even said before. I got video. I can actually go back 6 months. I don't even know who started that word, popation, but I know I've said it a couple of times. So anyway, I'm out of here, y'all. Until next time, much love, you guys. I don't know if I'll go live again today. There was one more case I was looking at, actually, regarding a family, a mother and a father who did a suicide pact, jumped off a bridge to their deaths, and took their 2 children with them in a whole weird suicidal pact. And I'm thinking I may cover that, but if there's any story that I think needs some attention this week, it's the Nicole Johnson story, the one with the woman that was pulled over in a routine traffic stop, and they found her dead nephew and dead niece in the trunk of her car. And it's suspected that the niece had been inside the suitcase that was in the trunk of the car for a year and 3 months. So I think if anything, that's a story that definitely needs some more attention. So I'm out of here. I may even do additional updates on that, but I'll catch y'all. Until next time.